My name is Angus, and I'm the product marketing manager at Poco. I'm very excited and honored to be the speaker today. We're back. It's been a while, and we're very excited to be back. Now, in 2020, the Poco brand has fully relaunched, and we're following the same legacy when we first started out. And today, we're announcing the true flagship killer has returned to disrupt the market once again. So without further ado, introducing the Poco F2 Pro. It's powerfully cool. The Poco F2 Pro is also a performance-driven phone. But we follow the footsteps of F1, but we took it to a whole new level. You may be wondering why we're calling the F2 Pro powerfully cool then. Before we get into the cool part, let's start with power. With the best processor, best RAM, and best storage, the Poco F2 Pro's performance is next level. It's a beast in whatever you do. Gaming, multitasking, recording videos, transferring files, you name it, and it can handle it. Now, how do we compare ourselves with other phones in the market? A total score of 589,983 for the Poco F2 Pro. Comparing to the OnePlus 8 Pro, we're roughly 15,000 higher. Comparing to the Samsung S20 Plus, there's a fair bit of difference there. Almost 75,000 in difference. Now, we talked about power, and this score actually doesn't tell the whole story of the Poco F2 Pro. Earlier, I mentioned what makes the Poco F2 Pro powerfully cool. Introducing the latest liquid cool technology 2.0. So we installed 10 heat sensors, covering most of the area where the heat is coming from. Then we solve it with 3 different components. A multi-layer graphite, covering most of the battery and the motherboard. A graphene covering the CPU and 5G chipset. Then the coolest part, a supersized VC to do most of the cooling work. So this comes down to the result of bigger cooling equals better sustained performance. And this is why I say the Poco F2 Pro is powerfully cool. We have a 180 hertz touch sampling rate. So when you're gaming, it'll help with your accuracy and precise aiming. It's very helpful in shooter games. Paired with it, we also have a very good Z-axis linear motor. The feedback is super satisfying. It's a flagship level haptic, whether you're playing a game or typing a text to your friends. The Poco F2 Pro, one of the few phones on the market that has 2 Rylan high gaming performance certification. And in order to get this, we had to pass a series of tests. Display, battery life, network, overall experience, heat dissipation, and overall performance. With the Poco F2 Pro, it supports 5G, Wi-Fi 6, and Super Bluetooth. You will always be connected, and the speeds are incredible. We put in a massive 4,700 mAh battery. It just seems like the common sense thing to do. A 2-day long-lasting battery. Now you have sustainable performance and sustainable battery life. And in case you do run out of juice, we have a 30-watt fast charging, and that's a flagship level fast charge. 63 minutes to 100%. You'll be charged up in no time. To give you a better taste on how powerful and smooth the Poco F2 is, we partnered up with Arena of Valor for a gaming test. To sum up, the Poco F2 Pro's overall performance is truly powerful, and it's very cool, literally cool. We had the Snapdragon 865, LPDDR5 RAM, and UFS 3.1. For sustainable performance, we added liquid cool technology 2.0. For flagship connectivity, we have 5G, Wi-Fi 6, and Super Bluetooth. Powering all these amazing performance, we have a 4,700 mAh battery that also supports 30-watt fast charge. We want to make sure you have a great screen paired with such an amazing performance. Yes, a true full-screen display. No notch, no holes, fully immersive. For our true full-screen display, we have a 6.667-inch True AMOLED, a 92.7% screen-to-body ratio. And when it comes to brightness, the Poco F2 Pro has a 5 million to 1 high contrast ratio, 800 nits on high brightness mode, and reaches up to 1,200 nits on maximum brightness. That's enough brightness for you to see super clearly, even when you're under the summer sun. We're also Widevine L1 certified. You can watch HD in multiple platforms, such as YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and many others. I know you guys will be binge watching a lot of shows on the F2 Pro. And because we're an AMOLED screen, we also have an in-screen fingerprint reader to ensure the security of your phone, a given feature in this day and age, of course. We still have Poco Launcher 2.0. This is my favorite, and I would use this on any phone. It's just so good. Makes my life so much easier. So Poco Launcher 2.0, you can get it on Google Play, as long as you're using an Android phone. You can set it as your default launcher. Currently, we have over 10 million downloads, and that's a mind-blowing number for us. Here are the 4 other color variants: the neon blue, the phantom white, the electric purple, and the cyber gray that you've already seen, which is also my personal favorite. So to sum up design, a lot of our decisions made here were because we want to make sure we could offer an unforgettable look and feel experience. With a true full screen, you can have an immersive experience. We made sure we kept some of the features that are actually slowly fading away in flagship devices. And because these features still matters to our users. The quad camera setup. Quad camera in 2020 has been the norm, and it's no different for the Poco F2 Pro. We have a 64 megapixel main camera, a 123-degree ultra-wide angle camera, and a telemacro camera, which is my favorite, and a depth sensor. For the Poco F2 Pro's telemacro lens, it's super sharp and close-up, an industry first, because with these lenses, we're actually 2 times more macro. With a telemacro lens, you can see into the telemacro world, see the true colors up close. And moving on to flagship videography. When it comes to flagship video, of course, we talk about 8K, such as portrait mode, pro mode, and video stabilization. A lot of different features to meet your needs. And let's talk about the front camera. It's actually a pop-up camera, and it's 20 megapixels. And you could do a lot of fun features as well. So for the Poco F2 Pro's camera, we have the Sony IMX6A6, ultra-wide angle, night mode 2.0, a telemacro camera. For video, we have 8K, portrait mode, slow motion selfies, pro mode, and video stabilization. It's a lot of fun features that I'm sure you'll love exploring, and I guarantee you enjoy it. Now, to sum up everything we talked about, the Poco F2 Pro is powerfully cool. It's versatile and powerful. With the latest specs in performance and a true full screen and a big battery, you can do anything. And this is why we believe the Poco F2 Pro is a true flagship. So like I said, what makes us different from a flagship phone? It's simple. It's our flagship killer price. I know, you guys have been waiting for this for a while, and I won't tease anymore. Let's reveal it right away. For our first option, 6 GB plus 128 GB option, we have the price of 499 euros. For the 8 GB and 256 GB option, we also have an amazing price, starting at 599 euros. So here it is in summary. The Poco F2 Pro, powerfully cool, starting at 499 euros and 599 euros in 4 very cool colors. So choose yours. And global availability starts today on Gearbest and AliExpress. And we have more channels coming. On Poco.net, Amazon, Lazada, Shopee, JD Central, and even more channels, where we will announce very, very soon. Now again, the Poco F2 Pro, powerfully cool.